Hello everybody, it's Alex here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my experience with depression because I promised to do that on my channel. To those of you who can't handle topics like depression, please pause the video and now. And to those of you who want to continue watching, it's okay, but trigger warning to everybody, here comes my story about my battling with depression. In 2011, closer to 2012, I moved from Kongsvinger to Bergen with the most beautiful girl back then. We were doing everything together, a lot of vacations together, doing things all couples do when they're living together. In the middle of that relationship, I got a phone call from my mother, and she told me that the girl I was with before the girl in Bergen has passed away, sadly, from accidents. That was really hard for me. It really got to me, and I was thinking a lot about it, but I learned to live with it, and I moved on. I don't know if you heard the song Haven't Got an Angel that I made, but that song is about the same girl, and that's a song I made with a friend of me, Jonas, who also was friend with that girl. Fast and forward to 2020, me and my girlfriend in Bergen separated and we went our different ways. I moved from Bergen to Kongsvinger again, to my parents' house, until I found my own apartment and started living on my own again. In the beginning, I didn't think much about it because it started out very well. I was talking with friends, I was talking with family, and nothing feels like something was wrong. But suddenly I started to build up something I have never experienced before, and here comes my story about my battle with depression. I started to isolate from my friends, I started to isolate from my family members. I wanted to stay in bed all morning, I didn't want to wake up, I didn't want to do anything. I was exhausted. Just to take a shower was hard of a task. I couldn't go outside the door to the store without crying. Everything was a mess. At one point, I started to self-harm and even cutting my arm, cutting myself. I didn't want to feel this feeling anymore. I also tried to knock my wrists so hard that my pulse almost cracked. I wanted to hang. My life was a total mess. I've had depression for 4 to 5 months and in a lot of pain, and I didn't want to do this anymore. I was ready to hang. The last month I was really ready to do it. I was done. But that day it actually knocked on my door. It was my friend, and she was like, hey, you wanna come and have some fun? And I was like, no, not today. She was like, yeah, I wanna be with you. And I was like, no, this is not a good day, not today. And then she said like, I have a friend in the back and he wants to meet you and we're gonna take a look at the city life. And I was like, okay, let's do it. This is actually what helped me out of that spiral because it went on every day after day after day. And she got me out of that spiral I couldn't get out of on my own. So basically she saved my life that day. The experience with depression for me is basically feeling like you're not good enough, even though you might know you are. Feeling like you have no friends, even though you might have friends around you. Feeling totally alone. And this is basically what I felt when I had depression. Just remember that if you feel this way, if you feel like this at all, and do not do what I try to do, you're always good enough. There's always people around you. There's always those who loves you. Always those who loves you. There's always someone to talk to. You are not alone. I'm just sharing my experience with depression, and I actually remember listening to sad music and melodies day in and day out, in the daytime and in the nighttime. I made this Spotify playlist called my depression list, and I actually have that list today. Well, that was my story about my battling with depression. Thanks to everybody who was watching, and I hope nobody got triggered. I want to say stay safe everybody, and just reach out because you are loved. I love you all.